not refer to themselves as citizens. They refer to themselves as subjects of the monarchy of King George. What is his name? Charles III. Anyway, this is very serious stuff. So here's the situation as we understand it. Ukraine and Poland share a border. Poland's directly west of Ukraine. At that border are 40,000 American troops, including our elite 101st Airborne, and 50,000 Polish troops. The Polish president has said, we're going to help Ukrainians get Crimea back. Well, Crimea has been Russian for 300 years. Now you have British soldiers on the ground. You have American CIA and American troops in civilian garb on the ground. You have American CIA spying on the Brits, spying on the Russians, spying on the Ukrainians on the ground, and this offensive weaponry about to arrive. Now, we add those together. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 equals WW3.
Yep. It started. And again,
you're the one. I'm not saying this because we're friends and we work together. I'm saying it because it's true. You're the first one who said this, that World War III has started.
Well, it was the cover of our magazine, the Trends Journal, on February 22nd, 2 days before the Russian invasion. We had COVID war, Ukraine war, World War, and with the explosion. And I found this, in one of the buildings I have here is the 1774 Academy, one of the first public schools in America. And we're redoing the whole upstairs, and we found these things from the people that were there before. And here's from Tuesday evening. They used to put papers out twice a day. May 10th, 1960. This is from the Kingston Daily Freeman. Here's the headline. Soviet threatens rockets at spy bases. All right, let's think of that headline. Soviet threatens rockets at spy bases. Number one, what's a spy base? And why does America have spy bases over there when we're Americans and we have our own national interests? But then you read the article. So that gets you to hate the Russians right away, because it says the Soviet threatens rockets at spy bases that threaten Americans, right? Here we go. Moscow, Associated Press. Premier Nikita Khrushchev warned Monday night that Soviet rockets will shoot down any more spy planes that venture over Soviet soil, and his government will take, quote, appropriate countermeasures. Wait a minute. It says Soviet threatens rockets at spy bases. No. The Soviets are threatening to shoot down American planes that are flying over the Soviet Union. But it would be perfectly fine for Soviet planes to fly over America.
Well, look, you have either the cultural or the intentional mouthing of the government's version of things by the headline writer. The headline writer should say, Soviets threaten to shoot down America, invasion of Soviet airspace. But they're not going to say that. They're going to make it sound like somehow we have the moral right to invade Soviet airspace, and that Khrushchev is a dangerous thug to want to shoot the planes down. And the reason shows you the power of the deep state, which probably started in 1947 when Harry Truman and the Republican Senate and Democratic House created the CIA and the national security state began. It shows you their power to ingratiate their version of things, even in a headline writer in a small town like Kingston, New York.
Yeah. But you see, most people only read the headlines. They don't read the entire story.
Correct.
And so that's the propaganda. And they're doing it right now with Russia. They only sell one side of the story, and they don't talk about the comedian who used to play the role at a sitcom, Zelensky, as the president of Ukraine and play the piano with his penis. They don't talk about that clown that is now a hero, the new Winston Churchill of the world, another murderer, by the way. But
Yes.
America loves him too. And they promote it, and the people only know the one side of the story. And the Azovs, the Nazi connection, how they overthrew the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych in 2014, brought to you by Victoria Nuland and the Obama administration. None of that. We don't need any of those facts. All we'll do is read the headlines, listen to the mainstream news, and stay stupid.
Well, I'm sorry to say that what you're saying is correct, and some things never change. I mean, that headline is 70 years old, 65 years old, and yet the same attitude, the same let's find somebody to hate is still there. You know, we hated Khrushchev. We hated North Vietnam. We hated Saddam Hussein. Now we hate Putin. Throw in there for a while hatred of COVID, not hatred of the Faucis and Murphys and Hokels and I forget her name in Michigan that locked everybody down and locked them up if they didn't comply, but hatred of foreign entities, the Chinese disease.
Yep.
Orwell predicted that. Do you remember Emmanuel Goldstein? Emmanuel Goldstein was the name of Big Brother that everybody, it turned out it didn't exist, but that everybody was taught to hate so that the government could justify stealing money, spending money, and killing people in order to stamp out that which was hated.
It was Witless Whitmer. Isn't that her name? Whitmer?
Yes, right. Yep. Gretchen Whitmer, who might be running with Biden for vice president if they can find something else for Kamala Harris to do.
Yeah, and the people re-voted her back in. Oh, I was saying what destroyed this country. I mentioned the AIDS scare, 9/11, and thirdly, big time, the COVID war.
Yes.
Our whole lives have changed now. Everywhere I go, people are wearing masks.
I agree with our friend Paul Craig Roberts and many, many others, Lou Rockwell, Ron Paul, that the COVID scare was a trial run for a dictatorship in this country.
Yep.
To determine how easy it is to control people and keep them in their place. And they used the most potent weapon they have, fear. They scared the daylights out of everybody, and Times Square became a ghost town, and they wouldn't let you go anywhere unless you had a mask on. You couldn't be arm in arm with anybody. You had to be 6 feet apart. A Catholic bishop in New Jersey that refused to close the churches was visited by 5 Catholic state troopers who said, you know, Your Excellency, we have to arrest you if you don't close those churches. And an elderly gentleman, he did close the churches. And so it worked. The government demonstrated to itself the ease with which it could control everybody. Forget about the Constitution, forget about the laws, forget about the Bill of Rights. It's just government control. Paul Craig Roberts is right. It was a trial run. God only knows when it'll happen again and how long it'll last the next time.
Well, the trial run is World War III. And just as the people marched off to the COVID war, just as they marched off, I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die. Yeah, over there. Oh, the Yanks are coming over there. What are you doing over there? Oh, no. When you mentioned about little Georgie Bush, about you try to kill my daddy, Saddam Hussein, how come? Oh, you mean because his father invaded and slaughtered a couple of 100,000 Iraqis?
Correct.
No, we won't talk about that. No, you can't say that. You're not allowed to say that. America had every right to go over there and destroy the place. It's been doing it forever, you know, since we've been born. So why should they not stop? You know, what's his name? Pilger, Silencing of the Lambs. John Pilger. He said in his lifetime, America has invaded like 50 countries. it bringing freedom and democracy.
Well, we
So what
don't bring freedom and democracy. We bring violence and death. We
Yep.
are doing what John Adams warned us never to do. Don't go about the world looking for monsters to slay. A, there will be no end to your search. B, what will you do when the slayers turn around and look back at you?
Yep. Yeah, no, this is serious. We are in a very serious situation. I love listening to music. And when the COVID war broke out, my whole sentiment changed. I hardly listen to it anymore like I used to. And I try in the morning to lift myself up and listen to the old great jazz and things. And because my business is to be I'm a trend forecaster. And I see the trends ahead. And it's the cover of the Trends Journal for this issue that just went out yesterday. Yep, this Christmas, stop wars, be a warrior for the Prince of Peace. If we don't unite for peace, we're going to die in war. And it's Christmas time. Again, regardless of what religion you believe in, it's not about that. Jesus Christ was the warrior, it was the Prince of Peace. But the only thing they talk about at Christmas time is, hey, how are Christmas sales going? Was it a good Black Friday? Oh, and by the way, we have to get rid of that word Black Friday. I find that racist. Let's really be stupid. But anyway, we have to unite. And my mission in 2023 is to do everything I can in two ways. Number one, at 76 years old, I'm fighting for the spirit of 1776. And in doing that, we need a new third party. And Judge Napolitano to be ahead of that new third party. That's the way I see it changing, because there's no one out there in America that has the knowledge, the passion, the caring, and the heart and soul that you do in knowing what's happened to this country and our loss of rights and what we have to do to get them back. So thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you, Gerald. God bless you. All the best.
All the best.